Okay. All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 3, Episode 9. Aha.
Kakyoin is of suspicions.
Yes. He is potentially in a bad standing with the JoJo's if he is an infiltrator.
Yes.
It took me like all of like 1.8 seconds to like come up with that really bad pun. I was like, he's in But guys, I'm just putting out there, I think this is subterfuge by Dio. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it could also be some other form of like resurgent, like
mind control
or something.
The aspect of the vampiric
thing,
the parasite that was in him, because it could have potentially been in him long enough to where they didn't get everything out. Like it might have like impregnated him or something.
Well, sure.
You know, this is JoJo's. You know, who knows what could happen?
Yes.
Could be like stuff in his head. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who knows? But also they need to figure out transport. They must figure out a way to get to Egypt in a timely manner without getting just, you know, attacked in a precarious situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now that we know that these captains or lieutenants of Dio's are kind of strategically placed in such a way to where, you know, they'll be along the path to Egypt, you know, there's almost no way of avoiding it, so they just wouldn't want to be put in a situation where they could all get one shot like being in a plane.
Unless they were in like a personal plane or something, so that they all had parachutes for the whole journey. Yeah, exactly. And there were no other people on there, so they had no other stand users.
Yeah, I don't know what the Speedwagon Foundation does about that, but that would be the most logical thing. But because we have we have a decent time limit going on here. We do. We can meander. We can get on some camels, maybe, you know, grab a Jeep or something. Go in style. Yeah, have a beach episode. Totally.
Yep.
A stand training, you know, while moving by campfire. We do see them in campfire thing in the night, like desert situation in the opening. But yeah, let's go and find out what Kakyoin potentially is to the group.
Okay.
Ooh, who dis? Who dis? Oh my. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Oh. So he's acting a little bit aggressive, yeah. What the heck? Oh, jeez! Oh! JoJo, are you gonna stop this? Controlled, but it's more of like activating a sleeper agent, you know? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
You know what? You know what I think this is? What? This might be direct Dio interaction.
Oh.
Dio might be like, like actually messing with him. Yeah. And this might be tied to his actual stand, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Like maybe his stand is growing so strong that that's why he doesn't need to move. He can like, you know, reach out his hand and, you know, control people like that. Dust. This opening has grown on me to be now one of my favorites. I mean, it might now replace the part 1 opening. Maybe. Okay. We'll see.
I just love that part where Polnareff does this little weird jump.
Yes, that's amazing. The visuals definitely are better than part 1's opening. Like,
yeah, the visuals are just like best yet.
That part is so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Stand proud. Alright, guys, here he goes. Cringe time.
Breaking through the TV screen.
Here we go. It just pumps me up. I love it. Oh, poor guy. That's random. Oh. Oh, wait.
What?
It's someone else's stand, potentially.
That's actually clever of whatever's making him do this.
Yes, yeah.
Playing it off.
Playing it off. I love those panels. Those are the best. Ooh, by train.
Okay.
Okay. That's a really dangerous option. Because you're literally on a story rail, like a plot rail.
Right. And stopping to pick up additional passengers along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what is with the Beatles?
He's gonna kill them.
Oh, he's eating them. Well, now this is a little bit obvious. The dirt faces, oh my gosh. Oh. Just please let it be like another stand user or Dio's direct involvement. I don't want this to be like him being a sleeper agent.
I don't think so.
Oh, crap. I have a... Whoa! What? Whoa! Okay. Alright. Yeah, what the heck? Wait, I've seen this before! Oh my gosh, this is the... I was like, yeah, this is the guy from the...
He's gonna do it again. He just got bigger, didn't he?
No. Whoa. Yeah, yeah. Oh! Wow. Oh, he's been abducted. This isn't Kakyoin.
Gotcha.
Whoa, what the heck? Yeah. You're right. Okay, yeah. Oh. Whoa. That's legit. Yellow temperance. Awesome. Okay. I love JoJo's. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
What do you mean, Aura? Oh. Oh, this guy's crazy.
It can eat stands too?
Okay. Nice.
All right.
I like this. Some kind of aerial battle potentially up at on a water tower or something. Oh. Okay. Well done.
All right.
I like that the stands can interact with the users in that way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You might have to. That'd be a cool, like, recurring
do that
consequence.
sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Oh, crap.
That's bad. Kid, I need your popsicle.
That's random. He can't see the slime. He's like, Joker. What? Okay. What? What the heck? No way!
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh! Oh, the dog! Oh! Yep.
イエローテンパランスの前には無駄だ。俺を倒すことはできねえし、その右手は切断するしか流れる方法はない。
That's...
Yeah, you have to kill him, otherwise the stand will, The JoJo's family, yep. He's not gonna talk about running away. No. Oh, run away!
Wait, seriously?
Yes! Yes!
Wait,
run away!
Okay. I love it, but,
Oh, yes! Like Jonathan!
Oh,
yes! Yes!
Nice.
Let's see who can have an endurance match in here.
Do you understand?
Do you understand? Yes, he was. Let's get him. Oh! That was him punching him.
Yeah.
I love how specific everything is in JoJo's. Yes, yes. Cool. All right. Oh, then you're dead, buddy. You are dead. How honorable.
I remember now. Yeah.
Death, Empress, Hanged Man, and Emperor. Okay, those are the tarot cards. Ooh, there we go. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. That's good. J-Guile. Ooh, good.
Alright.
He's the Hanged Man. He uses a mirror. He sounds like Joseph. What? Wait. Okay. We need a Polnareff decapitation, really quick.
Exactly.
Right about now.
Yeah.
You forgot about Star Platinum. Oh!
Nice.
Genius! Classic JoJo move. Yeah.
As he holds him there.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh, he's dead. He's so dead.
JoJo, そのチェリー食べない。がっつくようだが僕の好物なんだ。サンキュー。
Is he mocking him? He has no idea. Yada yada. Yes. And of course she's following them.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. Someone likes JoJo. That was a great episode.
So that's what
the old paintings on the tomb, they do the sad dance, and don't you know, if they move too quick, away, oh, they're falling down like a domino. And the bazaar men by the Nile, they got the money on a bet. They go crocodiles, oh yeah, yo, snap the teeth on your cigarette. And the pipes say, way, oh, way, oh, way, oh.
Well, that was a fun episode.
Walk like an Egyptian.
So it was neither of the things that we thought it was.
Neither, yeah. I mean, it was another stand user.
Right, it was another stand user, but it wasn't taking him over or anything like that. It was just...
a
copy.
Copy.
Yeah, there you go.
So, imposter.
Right.
So, ultimately, it was subterfuge, but not from Dio. It was correct. So, we can trust Joseph Joestar's stand a little bit more.
Sure.
And that it will divine some kind of useful information.
Even if it said,
Kakyoin is Dio's servant.
Right.
Because at that present moment, he was. Okay.
We now finally know the meme.
Like, yes, there's that. The best part about that meme, though, was I think I forgot about it, but when I saw Kakyoin for the first time, I was like,
he looks familiar,
familiar from something. Because like I haven't watched like meme videos or anything with Kakyoin doing the thing and that for a long time. Mm-hmm. So when he's like, I'm gonna grab that cherry, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was like, hold on a second.
Wait a minute. And then I was like, oh my gosh. But then the best part about it was that they did it again at the end. And it's one of those things of like, it's kind of like one of those mystery things where there's a supernatural element and they're like, oh, it was never supernatural. It was...
But was it?
You know, it was just a regular person doing something. And there's like, but wait a minute.
Right.
Was his stand so good as to understand some aspect of Kakyoin's...
Or it saw him eating a cherry previously. It's like, that's distinctive. I need to remember to do that because if I can do that, they will totally trust... You know, that I'm actually the real Kakyoin.
But then it turns out that Kakyoin had never done that in front of Jotaro, so Jotaro's just like,
the hell?
Yare. What does he say? He's like, yare something. Yare. It's kind of like a character in Bleach that I was a really big fan of, Urahara. He would do this, yare. And it's like, my, oh my. But we had a very kind of clever, janky stand user who's... We've already gone through 2 of Dio's lieutenants of sorts.
Right, so there's only 4 left. So it's like, okay, all right. Now, it seems like they're setting it up for the next one to be the
Polnareff's revenge target.
Yeah, exactly.
The son of the old hag teaching Dio about
the J whatever dude.
J Guile, I believe.
Yeah.
Geil.
Right. Yep. Good memory.
Yeah. So I don't remember all the tarot cards that they mentioned other than the Hanging Man, Death, and the Empress, or the Emperor. I think it was the Emperor.
Right. But there's only one more after that. So.
Yeah, there's one more after that. But the Hanging Man is particularly Polnareff's revenge target.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that character being brought into the story soon. Mm-hmm. I think is a really good idea because what you can do is provide like a little mini boss that isn't solved immediately in one episode. You can have it stretch over multiple episodes in particular.
Well, but it's also another way to show because they make it so that in all of these episodes it's a specific one of the bro squad fighting off against the stand user. So that can be a way to either have Polnareff show off his skills more, Or,
sure.
yeah, what you were saying, basically have Polnareff realize I can't actually defeat this stand user by myself, and then someone else helps him out, or something like that.
I think all the stand users except Abdul have a little bit of, kind of that pride thing of, oh, I can handle this. Joseph, in particular, though, I would love to see him utilize the Joestar technique of running away.
Yes,
but
yes.
You know what's funny? They blended the Jonathan technique and the Joseph technique into one in this episode. He was like, now, it's something that the Joestar, he's like, the Kujos, no, the Joestars, he made that distinction. This is our thing that we do, at this moment. Right. Then he smashes the cable car and he's like, run away! And I'm like, it's Joseph! And then I was like, wait a minute.
But then he also did the water thing.
Right, which is what Jonathan did in particular when he was fighting against the two vampire zombie
Or rather,
knights.
that's what they tried to use on him, I think.
Right, but Jonathan is a freak of nature with regards to his physical capacity, and his lungs can just hold his breath for forever.
Yeah, the powers of lawful good.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know why I never... Okay, this is random. I don't know why I never noticed this before.
What's that?
But Joseph doesn't wear his headband anymore.
Well, yeah.
I know.
He has a hat.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Curmudgeon-y, grumpy, old dad kind of Joseph now,
But there's part of me that thinks it would have just been so cool if Joseph was still wearing the Caesar headband even in his old age. It totally would have looked off, but...
Well, here's the thing, Jacob. Yeah. You know what I could see is Joseph in particular doesn't hold any grudge against, like, the people that killed Caesar, because that's all long and gone in the past and stuff. But what I could see is when he's like ready to fight, and he's like, "It's my turn." He pulls it out of his pocket, and he's like, "It's time to kick ass." And just like, yo,
that would be
amazing. Awesome. That would be amazing. Yeah. I don't think that they'll do that though.
Right. I don't even know if they'll ever have Joseph fight an enemy stand user one-on-one.
He's Speedwagon now.
Exactly, right. He's in the non-combat.
He's in the non-combat category. He's a support role. He provides information. He provides proper exposition. And he provides a lot of comedy.
He does indeed.
Yes, and he also has the biggest why of the group to make this journey happen as fast as possible.
Right, other than maybe Jotaro.
Yeah, but Jotaro's kind of an asshole in a lot of ways. So yes, of course he wants to, but Joseph is the most vocal about it.
Right, yeah, I gotta save my little girl, yeah.
Right. Dad saving his daughter, that's classic right there. But them actually defeating this stand user through, I think, some means that made sense in universe.
Yes.
I think that a lot of the times that stand fights happen, there's usually some really wacky thing that they do that kind of makes you think like, wait, wasn't there some better ways to do that, or what have you? I think this fight in particular was handled very well. You can tell that the enemy stand user, gold temperance or yellow temperance, his stand, he likes to play with his food.
Right, because he totally could have killed Jotaro if he just said, okay, Jotaro's gonna run away. That's fine. I've just completely covered him in my stand. So, he can run. He'll be dead in a few minutes.
I think he was pulled down. That was why. Because the Star Platinum grabbed the stand, so he pulled down with him. And remember, there's a limit of distance a stand can leave from its user. So maybe he could have just separated and broken.
Except it seems with
him, it's not the case.
So,
but I think maybe what it is, while it's a gelatinous ooze, essentially, maybe there's like a main amoeba center of it that he grabbed onto. But I'm talking about more of how the fight kind of progressed through its stages.
Right.
And how each of the stand users one-upped each other made sense with regards to how their stand worked. Yeah. The one part that, of course, threw me for a loop was the weird
girl
who's like just playing along with this whole thing, and then suddenly like face splits and like decapitates a dog, and you're just like, all right, just forget this guy, like kill him, please, please. Jotaro, waste this guy.
Although he did show some nice personality for the moments that he was there, of all the things of like, not the face, and
yes,
like that was.
He's a very vain individual, and he had.
I mean, the fact that he had a gold stand is like.
Yes. He has a lot of pride in that his stand is incredibly powerful.
Yes,
especially against weak fleshlings like humans and stuff like that. So you can just eat away at them slowly.
Yep.
He probably should have gone for a more of an assassin's tactic and tried to just goop Jotaro at one point and just never show up.
Right.
But he has to let people know that he was the one that did it. And I appreciated that because, you know, if you have an unbeatable stand like that and you've heard tell that, you know, Jotaro Kujo is, you know, you need to stop him.
That's right.
$100 million. You're like, who is this guy? Like,
I don't know. Once the $100 million is on the table, I might just be like, you know what? I don't need to have people know my name. I'll just collect the 100 million quietly, and that'll be fine.
Sure.
Okay, I loved his comment to Jotaro about like, you should pick your nose right now.
Yeah, you should pick your nose with that finger. See what happens.
Yeah,
you know, just a thought. Just a thought. One of the things that's great about the JoJo's dialogue in particular, it's just so specific. It gets right to the details. A lot of times with dialogue, they use kind of general term nouns and stuff to get like very kind of, I don't know, vague descriptions of things. But JoJo's dialogue will use like similes and very like oddly specific ones that you would never hear in regular people talk.
Speedwagon.
Yes.
Anytime someone says something, it oftentimes is very specific.
But I loved how they did that in the fight in particular.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was cool.
And then it made plot sense when Anna called in the telephone to get Joseph, and then she was like, "This is what's happening. This is where it is." And blah, 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 blah. I was like, "Wow, you're very smart. You're very handy, very capable. Like good job." Like
talking about like the
help.
slime on Jotaro's finger and like the all, you know, just all the details, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. This is a tactical, you know, list of all the things that have gone down.
Right, and this is where we are at. Please come help us.
Right,
and of course we know they're on their way, but they're essentially never going to get there.
Exactly.
Because, you know, we gotta have a JoJo versus
it doesn't feel heroic
fight.
to have 5 people plus their stands gang up on the one stand user.
You know it's gonna happen at one point where there's gonna be someone like, Dio has sent me, and they're like, just kill him, and they just obliterate someone. That would be amazing.
Or they get meta with it, and Dio, like, you know, Dio is talking with the old lady. And maybe one of the other stand users, and he's like, why aren't you sending us all against them at once? We could totally crush them. And Dio's like, these guys, I actually just hate them and I want them to die, so I'm sending them off one at a time. But yes, attack one at a time. That's right. I don't know how they managed to like get each, you know, get one of the party all split every single time.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is in particular? Stand users are kind of like Nen users in Hunter x Hunter, and that the best advantage they have is that no one knows what your stand can do.
Okay.
So if they all teamed up, they would have to divulge potentially to each other, like, so you want to use me in this instance because my stand does this. And then some of them would just be like, no, forget that. I'm not telling you my stand. Like, we have to work together. It's like, no, we don't. We have a bounty. I'm going to get as much of it as I can. Then they end up killing each other.
Right.
And, you know, problems.
And same basic end result.
Right, but also Dio's goal might not be to kill Jotaro now. Like,
might be to just like slow them down or something.
It might be to slow them down because if they die, he gets the cool. Well, they weren't worth my time. Awesome. Right. But he's getting stand users that like apparently some of them are pretty like, you know, important in particular. Like the voodoo guy was a legendary assassin that Avdol even knew about. So Dio's not thinking like, I'm sending weak peons against them. He's like, no, these are some of the best stand users in the world. So, you know, it's a big deal there. But also Dio might be just thinking, I don't really care what happens once my stand is at max power. Like once I've got that.
Dio is a diva. Like,
well, Dio is a diva, but he also like, you know, has that like god complex where he's like,
yes, that's
I will be the greatest one in all the land, and all shall marvel at my beauty. Yes,
exactly.
Yes, and like he's the kind of person. Well, no, I'm not gonna go there. But anyway, you just leave that to your imagination. But in particular, I think that Dio is actually being shown a little bit of his personality in all these stand users. Now, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a limb here, because Dio isn't as complex as he sometimes appears to be. I think he has some complex depth in him, But wouldn't it be interesting if all these stand users in particular show, like an aspect of the tarot cards in particular, they show some aspect of what Dio will be like when they eventually face him.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily just a stand thing or a design thing, but like a personality thing. Like Dio's ego could be shown in this one here. Like the kind of the I'm better than you. Yes, marvel at my pretty face and stuff. But the minute the ego is broken, it's like Dio doesn't have that necessarily, but he has all the ego. The other one was like sadistic and crazy, like a wild, just like that shows Dio's like crazy side, and that like while he is I think this is maybe kind of inferring. It's not necessarily
right. Maybe it's one of those things where I'm predisposed to not think that that's the case because they already had Dio in Phantom
a previous thing, so they don't need to.
They don't need to like build him up or like show his nature because we already kind of know it.
Right. They do need to build him up, but they don't need to show his nature. Him up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I love that they keep bringing up the old hag as if she's like important.
Yes.
The whole idea of them sending in these stand users, you get like, they're a big deal. But the fact that this hag essentially taught or is currently teaching Dio, you get this idea of progression, but also that Dio, he needs her right now.
Sure.
Like there will be a point where Dio disposes of her.
Possibly,
obviously.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. That'd be interesting if he didn't.
That would be interesting, yeah.
But yeah, like I'm more worried about what she can do than all of the stand users combined.
I think we'll get one stand user that's going to be way too OP, like in the lieutenant's category. And when I can see that
being the hanging one,
the hanged man.
Yeah, the
something with mirrors.
J Geel.
Illusions, light refracting. Mirrors, actually, that could be absorption, redirection. It could be some kind of.
That's true. It could be some kind of like teleportation or alternate like world that he creates.
Trickery.
Like, some sort of like
the mirrors are world. The mirrors are gateways.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the idea of someone utilizing specific items in the environment, so they have to set up a battle essentially.
What if? Okay. What if, all right, there was something where basically you could make something where the one stand user was fighting against all of the bro squad.
Right.
By like, if the mirrors were like portals or something like that, he gets one of the bro squad into a different mirror each.
Right.
Mirror dimension thing or whatever.
He fights all of them at once.
And he fights all of them at once.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. I think that's a clever way to do 1v1s that aren't really
1v1s, yeah.
Yeah. Because also from an animation standpoint, you want to show, like, this was a manga, right?
Uh-huh.
In order to have 6 characters all in a panel, essentially,
that's true.
It's almost impossible.
Right. Well, and also, a lot of the times, like in movies or whatever, whenever you have a bunch of people against one person, in order to make it look like they're all moving, because, like, in reality, if you have, 4 people or 5 people against one person, there is no way that the one person should be able to beat the 5 people, right? If they're able to surround them and all that. So a lot of times in movies, what they'll do is they'll make the characters be like moving and doing all this stuff to make it seem like they're still fighting the person at the center, even though they're really not.
Yeah. What I could see them doing is something like that, where the mirrors maybe reflects maybe a clone or a copy of him or his stand.
Sure, there you go.
Or maybe the mirror. Oh, wait, the opening. I just gotta... Guys, do you remember in the opening?
Right.
Towards the end, where there's a purple and a yellow kind of like versions of like Star Platinum, basically? And they don't really show one of the versions. I forget which color is which.
Okay.
But in particular, what this mirror stand could be is basically it reflects the stand of the other. So basically they have to fight themselves.
Gotcha, and that could be a way that they could also, if they wanted to do the 5 one-on-one matches, all with one stand.
Right.
If basically everyone has to fight the dark version of themselves, and that could also be a way that Joseph could fight basically a dark version of himself, and have it still work, even though he's a non-combat character.
Yeah, that could be really cool.
Yeah.
And then the other person is just sitting there like doing some kind of like intense like meditation thing, maintaining the mini dimensions or the alternate versions or what have you. That could be pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff they could do here.
In this episode, in particular, though, Kakyoin's just disgusting, like, kind of, you know, I'm, like, obviously evil and stuff.
Right.
I'm glad that Jotaro was, like, you know, he kind of, like, saw through it immediately.
Because it's not like he was being subtle.
No. But the part that, like, bugged me was the part of, like, all right, I'm gonna go leave now. And Anne like stays there, and he wasn't like, Anne, like, let's go. Like, obviously this guy's bad business. And Kakyoin's just sitting there like, I'm gonna eat a rhinoceros beetle.
4 of them, yeah.
Because I need to power up my stand a little bit more with eating beetles. Cool.
I thought, okay, all right. Now, I didn't know, like, you know, I had no idea that it was going to be some sort of eating to get power thing or whatever. When the kids showed up, I was worried because I was like, okay, this could be something where they are, you know, they are basically nearby when they shouldn't be.
Right.
You know, wrong place, wrong time.
Right.
But that didn't end up happening, so that was good.
There was actually an interesting bit where I was worried that Kakyoin was going to attack in some way. But instead, he seemed to play with Jotaro, and I kind of liked that. But, like, when he pushed him off the edge, that would have been a great way for him to be like, all right, cool, I pushed you off the edge, I grabbed Anne, now I'm like, all right, you know, get down, like, you know, surrender or something like that. Like,
oh, sure, yeah,
like he had all the leverage in the world right there.
Right, yeah, and basically say like, okay, you know, my stand is on her face. You know, if you want to, you know, have her survive, do XYZ.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm glad that the whole thing with Jotaro is like, all right, I've got your ticket to the cab car over there. It's my fist. Allow me to send you there. And it was just like this.
That was great.
What is this line? I love it. And he kind of like let it happen because I think Yellow Temperance or I don't know what the guy's name was, but he was just like, yeah, sure, this will be a fun like way to psych him out and stuff. You get to punch Kakyoin and have his jaw all broken and stuff.
Was that when the bit of the stand got on his finger?
Oh, right. That's
I think
true.
It might have been. I can't remember.
Yes, it was.
I think it was.
Yeah. It was, yeah. So maybe, if anything, he's so worried about Jotaro's stand being so much physically stronger than him that he didn't want to be the aggressor. He wanted to be like, oh no, you punched me. And then he's like, aha, now I've beaten you.
Yeah.
Which, that would have been crazy. Imagine if he just left. Like, he just left.
Yep.
And the things like it's like this whole like episode of them trying to solve how to get rid of this,
cool.
You know?
Yeah.
We could have seen like maybe there'd be some clever application of Joseph's stand involved in this.
Yeah.
We could have seen him cut off his finger intentionally. That would have been a really cool like thread of it is like now they're on guard for this stand user who could be like around any corner and they can't touch things without like
yeah.
Be careful.
Oh yeah, they totally could have done that.
And then they know they're being watched and they can't really leave the city without, you know, shaking off the stand user.
Yep.
It's those kinds of things where I'm like, all right, this is JoJo's. We're going to have some fun here. We're going to have some visually very perfect fights and stuff. But yeah, some of the stand users in particular are a little dumb here and there, especially when they have extremely OP abilities that make their egos inflated to the point of ridiculousness.
It is impossible for you to win, so now I will let my guard down.
But I loved the dialogue this episode.
It was
the dialogue this episode made it go from being like just a good JoJo's episode to a just great JoJo's episode.
Yep.
Particular lines here and there put in with some very, very tasteful vulgar language. It was very perfect. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this was fun, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. If you want to watch that next one right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access, there's Discord access in there. You watch full-length reactions and all that. It's there. It's cool.
It is pretty cool.
We'll see you next one. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all later.